Corn Warriors is presented by Pivot Bio. Welcome to Corn Warriors Season 6. This year we are excited to have 3 returning warriors and 3 new contestants, all competing for the title, Corn King. Season 5 was a tough year for farmers, with dramatic weather events, rising input prices, and global uncertainty. But as always, the American farmer soldiers on. And the question is, which one of these farmers will win Corn Warriors Season 6?
I am the 4th generation farmer in our family. That's a little something to be said for us. I didn't really take over our family's farm. I worked for several other farmers coming out of high school because my dad and uncle were smaller farmers and there was really no room for me. So I ended up buying a few tractor trailers and started hauling demolition. After doing that several years, my heart was always in farming, and saved up enough money and bought my first few tractors and combine. And after a year or 2 of small acreage, I was able to pick up some more land. And word of mouth got to where we are today, and I do have a bunch of great landowners that believe in me. And we work hard together, and here we are today. We farm at about 5,000 acres. Wouldn't want to do anything else in my life. Some days obviously can be harder than others, but I think that comes along with any job or anything in life. Last year we planted corn here on half of this farm, and we planted about 120 acres on it. That's a 400-acre farm, and we had 12 inches of rain in 3 hours. So needless to say, we were back to square one. We live probably 25 minutes from the coast, the Atlantic Ocean. Weather events can be kind of rough around here, hurricanes, and obviously anything weather related seems like we get a lot of it. So this farm that we're pulling onto now is called the Spencer Farm, and it's been leased from my dad and uncle until they retired, and now I've got the opportunity to work it. It's a good, productive farm, stiff clay ground. If you can get a crop growing and get it out of the ground, most of the time it does well.
All right, I'm Wally Norfleet. I've been friends with Heath for over 40 years, and he needs some help for planting corn. Right here, we're pulling a field cultivator, the roller behind it. The field cultivator will bring up the knots, and then that roller will pack them back in, and it creates loose soil for the planter to cover up the seed furrow with. And that's the purpose of that roller. That's new this year. We haven't used it before. And it looks like it's doing a good job. So we're gonna get ready and start here in a minute. We've ripped this ground earlier, and we ran over it with the rotor before, and now we're running over that with the cultipacker, and this is the final before the planter hits us.
The guys at B&S Enterprise, they do a good job. Their service department is phenomenal. They're always Johnny on the spot most of the time for us, so good company to have stand behind me. Anyways, appreciate it, Josh. See you later. All right, buddy, take care. Ready to ride. Let's plant some damn corn. Well, we're planting some corn. It's the 12th of April. We are on a farm called the Spencer Farm. It's really hard clay ground. We're beating the knots down, if you will. Planting corn, keeping it real, I guess. Yeah, our ground here, where we are, explain it to people, we're as flat as a piece of notebook paper. He's digging drains. We have ditches that run in these fields, and the little drainage tool that we call a drain digger goes from ditch to ditch in the lowest parts of what we call a cut. So when it does rain, the water can actually run off these fields.
So right now we just loaded up Pivot Bio.
The Proven 40 product, which is very cool.
We're out looking at one of our Pivot Bio plots. I like the looks of it.
It's not leaching away in the groundwater. It's not running off when we get a hard, heavy rain.
Not bad, huh? Not bad. The Proven 40 is doing its job.
It's that missing link that keeps my plant where it needs to be.
Pivot Bio passed the test. I
So
feel
far,
like.
the Pivot Bio is checking all the boxes.
Yeah.
How long are you getting going?
It's weird we say we're right down to it when, you know, we just started yesterday and here we are day 2.
Are you?
Yeah, it happens that fast. We're covering over 1,000 acres a day. We got 4,000 acres of corn to go. Today is Friday. By Sunday, if it don't rain, we'll be done. We have to make sure we do things right and the conditions are right. And we try to be patient as we can, because when it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen fast. And you know, old saying, you don't want all your eggs in one basket. Well, a lot of times we do. And sometime Mother Nature will give us a break. So if we do get a rain tomorrow or Sunday, then we can regroup. Right now, you know, we're talking a 40% chance of rain. Yeah, it's a flip of a coin. So if it don't happen, we got to roll. You know, everybody's on a big soil health and soil biology kick. We have a lot more people talking about it. You know, a lot more products to help build that back up within the soil. But you know, back before farms got too big, this was just something that everybody did all the time. You had livestock, you used the livestock as their manure was your fertilizer. You grew a crop to feed your family and feed the animals. It's just the way it was. Now progression-wise though, back then 100 bushel corn would be a lot. Now we're all achieving for better than 300. So we've definitely progressed, but we just gotta be smart on how we do it. When we first started beans, we had a bunch of issues just downloading software. Nothing major. Junior's been going just through some wear and tear breakdown parts. So hopefully you guys just didn't jinx me there. Let's see, there you go. All right, we're gonna get out for a minute. See if that worked. Row number 2 is not getting any seed. Sometimes the seed just gets stuck up. It's just hot and humid. Just needed some persuasion, hopefully. One of the changes, you know, I guess, not a change because we didn't make a change, but we really had to have a heart-to-heart, was the price of micros went up so much. So your zinc, manganese, boron went up over 50% from what they were last year, along with everything else, but that was one product that really stood out. So we was talking about, do we come back with a 1.5 quart to 2 quart rate earlier, that V4 time frame, and cut out the, the micronutrients that are specifically made for the furrow, which are more expensive. And me and Dad talked about it, and we wanted, to stay true to the plant. Prices are higher, and when we was making this decision, price of corn was only, I don't want to say only, but it was down around $5 a bushel. So, when we're sitting down trying to order all these products, because we want to lock them in as soon as we can, because the price is always changing. It's like as soon as you get off the combine, boom, you're game planning for this moment right now. And when you're looking at $5 and $5.50 corn, and you're looking at the price of everything, you go, man, can we really make this work? And I understand why a lot of people, switch to beans, more beans, went away from corn. But we wanted to make sure that we stayed the course and we didn't change anything, because if Mother Nature treats us right, we can raise corn. Now corn's over $7. It's looking like a good move. Fuel prices are really killing us right now. We actually just took our last tanker, so our last 7,000 gallon just came in, and we pretty much put a gag order on everybody. Use it sparingly. We don't want to have everything sitting around with this high dollar fuel. We're trying to eliminate the passes when we can. Is it really worth it? So you just got to be mindful of everything right now with the prices the way it is. I mean, obviously we got to get a crop in the ground. We got to bite the bullet, but we just got to be efficient.
We've been using BASF, their fungicides. We've really fell in love with the Veltima.
We have a new molecule in it called methyltrifluconazole. Instead of saying that, we've changed that name to Revasol. Not only does it move to the tip, but you'll still have longevity and coverage throughout the rest of the leaf.
We recommend BASF.
It lasts longer and works harder to make sure that you're covered from head to toe.
My name is George Watson Cutrell. I was born right here. Well, they ain't been too bad. I kept them straight. Never got in no trouble. Most time around here, kids, I'm gonna say, time about 8 or 9 years old, put them on the tractor, like dissing or something. When I first started, my dad, they come from down in Carolina, all of them, where my niece is living in right side of me. He bought that farm in 1927, 50 acres. Cost him $500, 50 acres and a half barn. Tractors didn't have no cab. We get out of school, all 5 of us would be out there pulling weeds in the soybean field to go back to school. They farm every day.
So Fenton and me worked together for the last couple of years. He's my go-to guy with Nutrient. Not only is he a salesman, he's a good friend, somebody I trust. He stands behind me, I stand behind him. Buy all my fertilizer products through him and a few other odd and ends.
Him and his agronomist and myself, we usually conference a lot and talk about what we need to be doing. And we're putting out the fertilizer and we're getting the corn in the grain right now. Brought some Levitate out to go in for. Sometimes we doctor it up a little bit, sometimes we don't, but anyway, that's, yeah, sometimes we put secret sauce in it. I love working with Heath. I told him the other day, I said for the next 2 weeks, he'll be my best friend, and then I won't talk to him for 6 weeks.
We actually become a real good team. And Nutrient, they stand behind me 100%. You pick the phone up and they're there immediately, and I can't put another name on anybody else I'd rather work with. All right, we're gonna check the seed, make sure that red planter's putting it where it's supposed to be.
Where are you trying to put it?
I'm trying to put it in these knots anywhere from 1 3/4 to 2 inches. And it's actually dead on 2 inches. You see the seed there. Again, we're messing with this clay ground, so it's important to get that seed 2 inches deep where those roots can establish themselves. Being down that deep, obviously, the lower the root mass, the better potential the plant has. I don't know that we're out of the cold weather yet, but I'm hoping that we are. The ground temperature is getting warm. Dirt, I'd say it's probably in the high 50s now, so we should be in a good spot right now as far as potential for the corn's emergence. We're supposed to get a little shower on Thursday. Today's Tuesday. I'd say by then, you know, a little bit of clods, where the clods are at, that'll help get the seed going and germinated. As warm as it's been being, we haven't really had any crazy cold weather here. We should see the corn pop out of the ground in about 5 to 6 days. That should be perfect for us, you know. We've seen 7 and 8 days, and that was when it was super cold and the ground was wet. We're gonna cover this seed up because that's the one that's gonna whip Corey's ass. We'll make sure we pack them down in day, Junior. Good enough for me, good enough for y'all. All right, so till next time, I'm glad y'all got to come out and see the way we farm. We planted some corn today. Everything got in sync. The tractor finally started to cooperate. I'd love to take y'all back to the farm and show you around, but as you can see, we're busy and that tractor's not moving. So enjoyed y'all being here. Enjoyed CornWarriors being here and all the fans that are participating and watching. I got to get to work. See you.
Farmers deserve a nitrogen that works as hard as they do, one that stays with the crop until the job is done. It's time to turn to a better nitrogen with Pivot Bio.
Nutrient 8 stand behind me 100%. Benton and me work together. He's my go-to guy.
We've probably known each other, 10 years at least.
You pick the phone up and they're there immediately, and I can't put another name on anybody else I'd rather work with.
Plants look very healthy. Yeah, sometimes we put secret sauce in it.
We actually become a real good team. Only the best products from Nutrient for us.
The corn's come screaming out of the ground. I'm not concerned about that. And, you know, the beans are gonna push, they're pushing like crazy. I'm just afraid that they could start breaking their necks because the ground's 5 inches rain on top of it, it's crusted over hard. So I'm not too worried. You know what? You know, that's the thing. We have 40% chance, but they're calling for severe storms. So it seems like every time, you know, we're not supposed to get a rain or low percentage, that's when we get another big rain in no time, you know, and then we could be looking at the same problem with corn. So, but as of today, we're sitting in a good position for the corn. If anything, you know, it looks really dry on top. We're still a touch wet underneath. The ground's still plenty heavy. Levi and Jenna, met them at the Commodity Classic 2019, I think it was. We both spoke on a BSF panel, and man, they were just the nicest people. Yes. And smart. The thing that I loved about it was just sitting up there and just watching Jenna take the reins and just go. Jenna's a real go-getter, and they're so knowledgeable. And that's the biggest thing, like not knowing too many farmers from Nebraska and getting to meet them for the first time. You know, just getting to hear their story and their knowledge and everything that they got going on. amount of trials that they do on their farm, and let alone with the cattle and everything else that they got going on. Man, they do an excellent job. And we've been able to stay in touch mainly through the Commodity Classic and different things like that. So I'm really excited to see them. I want to check our spacing here. This is one advantage of 20-inch row. So what you're looking at is 38,000 population. But if you see the spacing between the seeds, that's about 8 inches apart, if not better, all the way through here. So we're able to run a higher population than normal, but because of our side-to-side spacing being 20 inches, we're able to give that plant more room within the furrow. Another thing that we've learned is when we work ground up this soft, this powdery, with the furrow products that we're using, we're gonna force that seed to come. And it's gonna, as it's trying to establish its root, it's actually gonna move up. So our planting depth that we're actually looking for is 2 1/4 inch to 2.5 inch. The reason being is we come back to the same spot. If we had flagged this, come back here, once it's up and going about V2, and we measure the root from sunlight, it's gonna be about 2 inches. So if we plant that seed at 2 inches deep, then it's only gonna be about 1.5 inches to 1 3/4 inch deep of root. So that goes to show when the ground is that soft in the furrow, it's gonna push, it's actually gonna move its way north. So when we check the seed, we actually want to cheat a little bit deeper. So that's what we're doing here. We're right between 2 1/4 and 2.5. That's right where I want to be. I'd always rather cheat deeper than shallower, especially with corn. So we're doing a great job here. Very pleased with it. Pretty much every product that I'm running, whether it's in furrow or burn down, or if you're coming in for a post or a pre, if it's a water conditioner, water adjuvant, a biological, a fulvic acid, just contact me or go to the website, www.advancedshield.com. All the products are listed there, the rates, a little bit of recommendations to tell you some. If you got questions, feel free to ask. You can send me an email, text, phone call. This is how we all learn, guys.
What do you think of this new guy, Heath?
He's an ass. No. No, Heath, I'm tickled to death that Heath is on the show. We're gonna have a lot of fun together. He thinks he can grow 400+ bushel corn. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't put up a 400+ bushel number either, but he's thinking he's got it in the bag. And I've got news for him. He's gonna have to work hard for it. But no, on a serious note, great guy. A lot of fun, knowledgeable. I think he's gonna be a great fit and eager to learn from him.
Are you and Chad doing a round 2 of your bet this year?
Yeah, that one hurt. So if it's a half bushel again, I'm gonna lose my mind. So either I'm smoking you, Chad, or you better bring your A game, because this is not gonna happen. All right, guys, just got done eating dinner. Got to get back to the planter here. Appreciate you guys being here. But I got work to get done before it rains. We'll see you guys.
Next week on Corn Warriors.
We've really worked on this farm for a long time.
I like to get the whole perimeter done, then we'll just paint it in tonight.
That's why we farm, because we love it.